Alright gang, welcome back to the Island Preservation Challenge. It is November now, and it's a very rainy November, but looks like it is going to clear up a little bit here down the line. Still be cloudy, but no more rain should happening here relatively soon. We're going to get started here with putting some grass over here into the trough for the sheep and for the goats, and kind of continue to let them do their thing here. Now, we bought some sheep in the last episode. We had talked about potentially selling some of the goats. We didn't do that. I'm going to keep them in there for the time being. I've made the decision, another modification, if you will, but a minor one at that, until we get to a point where we've kind of got the pen maxed out. I mean, we might as well continue to allow them to make us goat milk, because we can sell that and make some money off of it, right? Until that happens, and then they'll be a little bit older then too, hopefully, maybe even reproduced at that point, and then we can sell them and make a little bit of that money back that we paid for the goats. Obviously, the goats were more expensive than what they're worth right now, so we need to get them a little bit older, and then maybe they'll reproduce at the same time, and we can go from there. So we're going to do that and keep it going that way. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, man. Looks like we might want to put some water into here as well, but things are moving along nicely. Let's see, how are the crickets? Crickets are fine as far as water goes, so no major issues there. I've got the tractor already started here. We're going to go ahead and hook up to the mower, and we're going to get the remainder of the field there in the middle mowed up today, and kind of get all of that picked up today. Then we'll probably plan to put another field in there, possibly two, like we talked about at the end of the last episode. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there. I'm not sure if we'll get anything drilled today or not. Maybe we will, but I'm not positive on that statement yet. More than likely, what we're going to kind of focus on is getting the fields kind of set up. The remainder of the fields kind of set up here on the land that we currently own. That's the main objective, at least. We did have our cotton field over there germinate, which is nice. Very similar over here to the onion field has also germinated. So things are looking good, man. Things are looking good. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. I do probably sound a little bit better. I feel a little bit better. The cough is still there. Some things, some drainage and things are still kind of occurring to an extent, but it's significantly better than it was in the last episode, let's put it that way. So hopefully we're on the mend here and on to better health. Now, it looks like, from what I can tell here, and I wasn't sure about that, I think I talked about this in the past, is if, some of these weeds would come back, and it kind of looks like they do. You can kind of see some flower type of weeds there on the edge of this area here that are starting to grow again. Will they be as large as some of these in here, some of these bigger ones in here? I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea, honestly. But I guess we'll find that out soon enough, all right? So, I would like to put down, in one of these fields here in the middle, I would love to put down some kind of a wheat or a barley or even an oat, something that can give us straw. I really think we need to start focusing pretty heavily here on getting stuff set up for cows, right? We're going to go the approach of the cotton for the clothes and things, but we do need to get some cows going, because that's going to produce the slurry and the manure that I talked about in the last episode, which we're desperately going to need for all of these fields, right? We're going to need that because that's the only way we can really, give some actual fertilizer without doing some kind of a cover crop. So we definitely need to get in the groove there of getting that going. And why did we slow down so much? What is going on here? What are we getting stuck on? Maybe it's just it's sinking into the ground, I guess, I guess it is. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to slide out of there so we don't have that issue anymore. We'll get back on some solid ground here, hopefully. And I'll just come back the other way with the mower and get a little closer to the edge there. Yeah, hopefully you're doing well. Like I said in the last episode, if you haven't done so yet, I highly recommend you check out the brand new series that came out on the channel itself. The Triple Threat Challenge Season 2. It's a challenge that I came up with right when this game really first came out. We ended up doing it on Hunten Pantai. It was very successful. We're going to do another season of it. So if you haven't done so, check it out. I think you're going to love it. You might even want to partake in it. It's a good time, man. It's a good challenge. It's a difficult challenge. Great map that was decided by all of you. Great map. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very, very excited that series is now up and going. All right, I think we got that sorted out now. We can kind of go back over to here again. So what else can we talk about today? Well, I don't really have a ton, honestly, to talk about today, which is surprising for me. A lot of you know that I like to go on rants more times than not, but sometimes you just don't have a whole lot to say or a whole lot to talk about. I'm not really normally lost for words, but I guess today I am to an extent. But we're gonna get this all mowed up. It's a pretty large piece of land here, piece of real estate here, if you will. We've got other grass we can mow. Some of the other grass we've mowed prior, yardish area. That can be mowed again at this point, so we could potentially go that approach and mow some of that too. I don't think we necessarily need to right now, so I'm not going to focus on it. Now, I've been talking about that area as a yard, and honestly, normally you would want to spend some money to put down some gravel or asphalt or concrete or whatever you want to, cement, something, whatever you want to do. We really don't have a whole lot of money to spend right now, so I'm not going to be doing that for the time being. I'm just going to kind of keep it as a more natural field or natural yard, I guess, in this instance, for the time being. Eventually, once we are able to start producing some money from harvesting all of these crop fields, things are going to be a little bit different, right? But for the time being, we're not going to be focusing on that right now. Nope. No, I don't want a worker. So I was talking about the weeds kind of growing back up. I think what you're going to see is that the things that you're seeing here in the ground, the yellow and purple and the pinks, all of those colors, and maybe the light greens, those are all probably going to respawn, I think, when the grass grows. I don't think these bigger bush-like things here, I don't think they will. I think it's just going to be more of the flowery type of things you're seeing there. I think those are definitely going to respawn because that kind of is what it looks like already over there. But who knows, right? I guess we're going to figure it out one way or another, I guess. I just can't imagine those big, like the one there in the far distance. I just can't imagine that regrowing on the map. I feel like that was, planted there on purpose. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody already knows. Maybe somebody can let me know down below if they already know. Anyway, we don't have a ton left to do here as the mowing. We're going to get this mowed up. We're going to get it all baled up. We're going to get it all picked up. It's probably going to go into the silage pole. And it's really going to be mostly for storage. As I mentioned in the last episode, eventually, yes, but right now we're not really planning to turn that into silage. We don't have any way to sell it if we do turn it into silage, and we don't have any way to give it to any animals if we turn it into silage. So, for the time being, it's just going to be put into that silage pole or stick or whatever you want to call it for a storage-only perspective. That's really the only reason it's going to be there. That way we can actually get all of the grass up off the field and not waste it, right? So, let's get to work. All right, we're cruising along here, gang. We've made it a little bit larger than I had initially anticipated, but that's okay. Well, the other field can just be a lot smaller. That's not a huge deal, but it is not the straightest field in the world. We already knew it was going to be kind of an awkward shaped field. It's even more awkward than I think I initially had anticipated or thought it would be. But yeah, we got a little close down here at the end, but whatever, it is what it is. Not much we can do about it now. We could paint some grass down there to kind of clean that up a little bit later, but yeah, whatever. You know, this field is obviously not the straightest field in the world because it kind of follows the coastline there, with the exception of this side. But this side I didn't really make it the straightest in the world, so it is what it is. We're going to just continue on, and yeah, we'll just have some awkward shaped fields over here. We've got some more traditional squared, rectangle shaped fields over there, and I guess over there behind the yard and stuff too. But these will just be a little bit of a weirder shape. And then we'll have a little bit of a smaller one straight on top of this one, or on top of this one over there on that side, I guess I should say. Now we gotta get the stones up. A lot of you, I mentioned in the last episode, but a lot of you mentioned I don't need to go up and down to get all of the stones. I can just kind of meander my way around and just pick up the stones that I see. And you're right, it probably would be faster to do that too, but I think I'm just going to continue to do it the old-fashioned way of up and down the entire thing, and just try to get all of them. Even if it takes a little bit longer, I'm okay with that. Now, all these fields are going to be a little weird here for a while, but once we get more, you know, non-manual labor type of implements here, it won't be as bad, because we'll probably be combining some of these, I would assume. Because we'll be going a little bit faster, and honestly, we won't need them to be as well. We will be able to combine them, I guess is what I should say. We can make a little bit of larger fields and be okay with it, and not have to worry about the fact that we are utilizing manual labor here like we are now. You know, having a big harvester, having a big plow, a big drill, etc. All of those things are going to be extremely helpful, right? It's going to be a slow process, though, for us to be able to get all of that, right? We're going to have to utilize manual stuff for quite a while here. But I would think relatively soon we'll be able to potentially upgrade at least the plow perspective. The stones are going to be a long time, I think, before we'll be able to get something for that, because the manual one is inexpensive. The next option is in the 20,000 range, I think, or more. There might be a few other ones that are lower than that, actually, in ModHub, but they don't work as well. That's my opinion, at least. They don't work as well. I like the ones that have like a windrower on the front, where it kind of pulls the rocks in. And I think the cheapest one you can find in that is somewhere like the high 20s, I think. And we're going to need that. We're going to definitely need that. Harvester, there are some options out there, I think, for around the $8,000 to $10,000 to $12,000 range, and that's probably what we'll have to go for whenever we do decide to do an upgrade. However, it needs to be said that if we do go that approach with the harvester, we are going to have the palletizer or something to turn that harvest into pallets. So realistically, we're probably going to be utilizing the manual on the harvesting thing at least for quite a while as well. We're going to have to be able to afford or fund the palletizer first before we can even really consider a harvester, honestly. So we definitely need to get the clothes up and running as fast as possible. We need all the grannies knitting over there as fast as humanly possible, so we can make ourselves some good money. We've got two really solid, large cotton fields, which are going to help tremendously. We might even do a third cotton field, probably the smaller one over here. We probably will. I think this field, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I think this field's going to be like a wheat or a barley or an oat, something like that. I think I'm leaning more towards wheat, I think. We'll also probably get some chickens here soon. You know, we've got that sorghum field. It should be ready to harvest here in a couple episodes. I'm not sure if we'll do multiple episodes here in the winter months, November, December, January, February. I'm not sure if we'll do multiples or not. We've been doing multiple episodes but in the same month, but I'm not quite sure we will at this point. doesn't matter, right? I mean, we're allowed to harvest and do things anytime we want. I just don't think we need to do multiple episodes because we're getting close now where our entire land that we own is pretty much utilized, right? We're going to have all the fields kind of set, at least for what I want for the time being, and then we'll have some area over there for us to continue to expand for Granny's knitwear and chickens, etc., right? So probably won't need as many episodes per month for a little while until we start the harvests, and even then, hopefully we have them offset properly where it's not too bad. We don't have more than 2 to do, right? I think we're going to, but I think we'll easily be able to accomplish that, but, we'll find out. This is gonna be a nice sized field, though. I mean, it's not as big as the coastal one, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I would say it's probably the second biggest one we got, for sure. I need to touch up the area there in the middle over here that I've missed. Let's do that right now. What else? I don't think there's really much else. Man, I'm told you, I'm a loss for words for once in my life. It's very weird. Might also be that I haven't felt the greatest this week, but, whatever. So yeah, I mean, this is a decent sized field. It's smaller than this one, but not by much. I would say not by much. This field will be relatively large for what it is. It's just going to be another awkward shaped version of it. Yeah, this is bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So we got 2 large fields then, I guess. I guess one thing I didn't think about. Well, we can bale it. Never mind. We can bale it. I was going to say one thing I didn't think about is well, I don't even know. If we're harvesting things like wheat and barley that'll drop straw, does the harvester drop straw? The manual harvester, does it even drop straw? I think it does. I'm trying to think back to Daggerwind's episode. I haven't watched a bunch of it, but I've watched a couple of his extreme survival series where he was utilizing these type of implements, this type of equipment. I'm pretty sure it does drop straw. Right? I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, it does. It does. I do remember that because he went and bought like that super cheap windrower for the back of a tractor. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it works. We used it at one point early on in the vintage survival series that we ran on the channel, right? Yeah, he definitely uses it. Okay. Well, we got a little bit longer to go here, and then, like I said, we need to probably get some stones up here. We'll probably utilize a little bit of time to get some stones up. I'm not gonna. I think I said initially I was going to do another, get that other field up there set. I think I'm going to focus on maybe just getting the stones up on these 2 fields here, this one and the one right here that you're seeing directly in front of me. Just because we're gonna have to get one of these drilled next episode for sure. So we can offset that field up there and plow that one in the next episode. I think that's what we'll end up doing, just based off the fact of how large this field ended up being. I thought it wasn't going to be nearly as large, but it really is. So that's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just not what I initially anticipated. Maybe I should have made it a little bit smaller. But if I made this a little bit smaller, I would have made that one a little bit bigger. And honestly, I think that one's going to be pretty big too. So, yeah, anyway. We're going to get the rest of this all taken care of. And then, yeah, we'll see where we're at as far as this field goes and getting up the stones. We may only be able to get the stones on one field. Who knows? But we'll figure that out. Let's get to work some more. So here at the end, I decided to do the tactic that all of you told me to do in the previous episodes, which was to kind of just go over the place and make lines everywhere. I think personally I hate it, but it does work and it is faster, so I will give you that. I'll give you that for sure. I'm just not quite sure it's it's for me. Kind of drives me crazy a little bit. But if we seed it immediately after, it's going to go away, so you're not really going to notice it, right? So, I mean, to your point, you guys are correct. That maybe that's the way I should be going about it, because it does save me time. But I don't know. I'm going to drill this field. Wasn't planning on doing that. Remember I talked about we were going to get the field plowed up, get the stones, picked up at least on one of the fields. I was thinking about doing that field too. I'm going to save that field for the next episode. We're going to drill this field today, though. I don't know what I want to put in here, though, I'm going to be honest with you. Something like... maybe corn would be a fun one to do. But I was thinking corn would be on the bigger field over here. So I think we'll go with the wheat, right? We were talking about wheat, but I was thinking of maybe putting the wheat in the big field there. Maybe what we do is we put wheat in this field here, and then we can do barley or wheat in this awkward field over here. Like a trapezoid type of shape or whatever that is. Let's do that. That's a modification from what I was just talking about, but let's do that. I'll do corn in the big field over here once we get the stones up, and we'll do wheat over here. Now, we cruise a lot faster. It feels like it's only 1 mile per hour difference, but for some reason, it feels a lot faster when you're utilizing this. I don't know why it feels that way to me, but it is. It's a 1 mile per hour difference. It shouldn't really be that gigantic of a difference, but it feels so much faster. So anyway, we're going to get the wheat in the field here. I think I'm going to make some modifications to the big coastal field a little bit. Not major modifications, and it's not going to happen until we've harvested that field. But it's kind of got a weird... We are not on the line I want us to be on here. Hold on just a minute here, gang. Let me get this set again. There we go. It's got this weird, like, turn right here. You see that on the corner? When we're done harvesting that, I'm going to kind of remove that from play. It's a little awkward, and it kind of shrinks that little space down there anyway. I mentioned that I wanted to have room here to put a bit of a track in at some point. Right now, it's just going to be a natural track, but, nonetheless, that's the intent. And that little awkward corner there is going to cause some mayhem, I think. So we might as well just go ahead and get rid of it. But we'll wait till we get that harvest done before we do that. The rain, it looks like it's finally starting to subside. It is still slowly raining, very, very sprinkle, a bit of a sprinkle, if you will. But the ground is super saturated, super wet. So this should really go into the ground well. It should go in there deep. Did we actually roll that? Or did we drill that? It looks like we did, but I don't know. This it's a little confusing on if it's just that was just going over with the rocks. I think it might have just been going over with the rocks. I don't think that's actually been drilled. I don't think it has. We're going to have to come back and do that one again. It kind of looks like it, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't been, so... So really what I'm trying to focus on now is, getting some straw down on the ground so we can start to focus on doing some TMR type of food. Because we really want to get those cows in, or the water buffalo, whatever. Probably water buffalo. Somebody told me, I think it was Rusty. Rusty Money Gaming. I think he told me that water buffalo and I think one of his subscribers told him this, which I didn't know this either, but I think water buffalo produce more manure and slurry, I think, than regular cows. So for this series, although we would definitely want the milk, we're more focused really for the animal perspective, at least for me, at least, is being able to, set these fields up properly to succeed. Currently we're getting okay yields out of them, but it's not going to be fantastic. It's not going to be great at all. But eventually that's the goal, right? We got to get the yield up. That's how we're going to make ourselves more money, and that's how we're going to have a little bit more to product to play with, if you will. Our fields are doing well, though. Everything's going good. This field's looking great. This one's finally started to germinate a little bit there, and then our cotton field over here is looking good as well. Same with our coastal one, even though it's only been one pass. But yeah, things are looking good there too. Okay, we need to reset this. I'm all over the road here. The road. I'm all over the field here. The road. All right, we don't have much left to do here. Let's just let's get this done real quick, huh? Okay, that's all done. Did not take us too long at all. We've got the wheat in. This is good. Was going to just plan on taking a day off of doing any of that, but we got the wheat in, so I think we're okay there. Now, a lot of you mentioned a couple places that I could, get some kind of a stone storage, if you will. I don't think we're quite ready for the stone storage yet. For obvious reasons, we really just don't have the money. We have some pallets we could go sell today. Again, I think I'm going to hold off on selling those today. I think I'm going to wait, and we'll do that maybe in the next episode, or if not, maybe the following one. I think it's going to be better for us to hold off on doing that. We'll keep on heading down here. While we're doing that, I can kind of take a look at where are they? Are they in the lower? I think they're in the lower, aren't they? They are. Here's a good prime time for me to just throw in, why do we not have the ability to favorite things, Giants? Come on, help me out. Crickets are actually still best right now. They don't really fluctuate. They fluctuate by $3. So it's not that big of a deal. Maybe we should go do something with them, but it's not that big of a deal. What are they under? Just saplings or rice saplings? Maybe they're rice saplings. There they are. Yeah, again, they don't fluctuate all that much either. I went way too far and knew it was going to be. Luckily, we didn't get into the water. That would have been a disaster. We were close. Yeah, the rice saplings. Maybe we should sell them too today. I don't know. The big problem we have, as you saw in recent episodes, is that, well, quite frankly, the forklift we got is really not quite tall enough to be able to put anything on our current trailer. So, the rice sapling's not a big deal. We've got the liftable, bale and pallet mod, which is compatible with those, so not a big deal there. But, the crickets, it's not compatible. So we do have to do it, with a forklift, which is a bit of a struggle, as you saw last time. So really, we need to either get a different trailer for them, maybe put them on auto selling, which would obviously we would lose a little bit of money in the process of doing that. I'm not quite sure I want to do that yet. I said we were going to do auto selling much later on, not early on. So I think I'm going to pass on that, although it would be much easier and simpler for me. I think I'm going to pass on that. And then the other option we have, really, is to put down some kind of a ramp, or maybe even just make a natural ramp of some sort, where we can put the trailer below it, and then, you know, drive the forklift up the ramp a little bit, and then try to, you know, drop it off that way. Or I guess maybe not necessarily make a ramp, but we could make like a bit of a ditch and have the trailer down in the ditch, and then it might be a little bit easier, right? I'm not quite sure I want to go that effect either, because I think that's going to be... Oh, we're full on stones. That's what I was hoping for. Not quite sure I want to go that effect either, though, because I think that's going to be a bit of a struggle, too. We would spend, you know, a hell of a lot of money just to get, I think, that set up, and then it's just going to look weird and out of place, I think. So, we'll have to figure something out for that. It does work, kind of, utilizing a bit of a hill, you know, perspective. You know, have the forklift up on a higher portion of the hill and the trailer on the lower portion. If we can get the you know, the pallets up there, it's just not the most elegant thing in the world. Where are we going to put our stones at? I really don't know. I think I'm just going to put them near our silage stick here for the time being. Now, the problem we're going to have here is these are just going to have to stay here for quite a while. We don't have any way to pick them up. We could probably buy a shovel, and then that would take an eternity, but we probably could buy a shovel. Okay, how do I unload this thing? Okay, so we're good. We're not anywhere near affecting the silage stick, hopefully, here. Pipe out. Unload here. Okay. Simple as that. Okay, got it. Pretty easy. It's probably going to be in the way. I always put things in the way early on, thinking they're going to be fine where they are, and then they end up being in the way, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll have to sort through that, I guess, when the time comes. Right now, it shouldn't be in the way for a long time because, well, quite frankly, we just don't have any money. We don't have anything to put down in that area, so it shouldn't be a problem for a while, but eventually, yes, it will likely turn into one. But with all of that said, we are going to leave the episode at this point. Next episode, we're going to get the rest of the stones picked up here. I already begun, obviously, on some of these, but we're going to get the rest of the stones picked up here. And we'll get something on the ground here, more than likely corn, like I talked about, since we kind of shifted gears. Unless I change my mind again, I very well could, but I think corn for this field, and then we'll do another wheat or a barley up in the other field that is yet to be created, which we will probably create next episode as well. And we'll see how we're doing there. I would suspect we're going to get pretty close here to the sorghum being ready to harvest soon, which means we're going to get a harvester. So we're going to need all these pallets because we're going to need some money. 2,470 is a decent amount of money, but I'm pretty sure we looked in the past, and I'm pretty sure... Ooh, there's a nice truck out there. There's a nice tanker, too. Trailer. There's all kinds of good stuff out here, but we don't have the money for it. You know, the harvester for that is 1,500? Yeah, 1,500. So we do have enough money as it is right now. But, you know, we're going to have to buy a couple of those harvesters for all the stuff we've put down. It's not like we're utilizing the same harvester every time. So we've got some work to do as far as the money goes in our bank account to be able to afford all the stuff we need to buy. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, we're going to leave the episode here. Thanks so much for watching, gang. I do truly appreciate each and every single one of you. It really does mean a lot, man. If you haven't done so already, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button for me. They are free. They help me out an absolute ton. It definitely keeps you up to date whenever I release a new video as well. Especially for a series like this, if you really enjoy this series. Make sure you check out the Triple Threat Challenge. Check out the competitive one-tile challenge. We've got about 10 episodes left at the time of this recording. Somewhere in that range. So we're getting close to finishing that one up too. I would suspect that one's going to be done probably early May. Well, maybe mid-May, I guess. 10-ish episodes remaining on that series, so bittersweet there too. But I have a lot of fun on that series with the guys, but it's time to move on from there, as mentioned earlier in this episode, based off of numerous reasons, not specifically because I need to, but the guys need to. They've got things going on in their real-time jobs that are taking up more of their time, so it's becoming more difficult. But we'll be back again with a series with them, I'm sure, probably in the late fall and winter again. I think we're going to continue to do a series like that. May not be exactly the same competitive one-tile challenge, but a series like that. you know, every fall and winter and lead it into spring like it is now. I think we're going to try to plan it out a little bit better next time, where we can time it, where we can get a little bit of a longer series going than what we got. Not that what we have now is there's anything wrong with it. I mean, we've all kind of completely filled up our little tiles. We could add a few other things there, sure, but I mean, really, we're probably not going to make a whole lot of, you know, major changes at this point forward, so it would just be doing the same thing. So it probably is time to end it anyway. But yeah, the next time we do one, I'm not sure it'll be the competitive one-tile challenge. We've got some other ideas. The guys have some ideas as well, so we may just take on one of their type of challenges on there. Or maybe we even, you know, break it down to a very generic, you know, just a competitive multiplayer of some sort, right? We just pick a map, we start with some same exact equipment, and same amount of land, and we go, right? But we'll figure that out as we get to it. Thanks to my members. Cannot thank them enough for their continued support. If you want early access to videos like this one, there's a link down below. Check that out. Check my second channel out. Check Discord out. All that stuff, it's down below as always. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you next time.